The Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida talks Christmas concert while at the Hard Rock Guitar Pool. It's a Florida thing. Nobody loves Christmas like the South Florida queer community. They are always ready for entertainment, fun, music, and good queer events at venues like the Hard Rock Live. I have recently interviewed and had an amazing time with Mark Kent and Gabe Salazar from the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida, talking about Christmas, music, their upcoming concert, security under the present political environment in Florida, and how the chorus is growing throughout the years.
Well, this is a very special interview at Queer News Tonight, and I'm just saying, I don't often get to say this, but I love my job. I'm sitting in one of the Bora villas at the Seminole Hard Rock Hollywood Hotel, and we're in the midst of this beautiful pool complex. I'm sitting right below the Guitar Hotel, the new Guitar Hotel. We're showing you images of that now, and I have two very interesting gentlemen with me, and that is Mark Kent, and Mark is the executive director of the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida, and this new sensation personality that is now so front and center in our community, and that is Gabe Salazar, the artistic director. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
We're going to broadcast this, and I can't say tonight because it's so beautiful here in the daytime. It's really stunning. First time I've ever been in the villa. As everybody knows in South Florida, the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida is a sentinel performance entertainment organization of our LGBTQ community. And on December 18th, something happens that hasn't happened in a while, frankly, and that is because of pandemic. The chorus is going to return to the Sentinel Hard Rock Live here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel for a gigantic Christmas concert. And I'm here to talk to them about the chorus and all kinds of things. And long introduction of y'all, but welcome to Queer News Tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be here. We really appreciate you having us.
It's a fun place. Y'all have nice jobs, too, to be able to do this. I want to start by talking about the chorus itself. At one point, we had 3 choruses here in South Florida, highly unusual. Most cities don't necessarily have a chorus. If they do, they have 1 main chorus. We in South Florida have had 3 in Miami and 2 in South Florida. The Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida is really the iconic performance group, certainly in South Florida, but really all over the country. 170 voices started in September of 2010, I read. Tell us a little bit about the early days and why the Gay Men's Chorus came together.
You know, the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida originated with a group of individuals who had a commitment to excellence and artistic quality. I mean, let's face it, we've got an enormous LGBTQ community here in South Florida, and bringing a really high-level performance ensemble to this area was a priority for that group. We had really, really strong groups, but they wanted to push the bar a little higher, so they organized, and we had great leaders. They put a community board in place who brought great infrastructure and strength to our operations, and they made it happen.
I wanted to read more about what the chorus was doing. I read that you formed on September 7th, 2010. I'm a journalism guy, so facts are important. The following week, you went to Sunshine Cathedral, September 14th, and basically that's been your home ever since. I was reading about Reverend Dr. Jarrell Watkins and Sunshine's involvement in supporting. Tell me a little, of course, we're interested in that. Our studios, Happening Out Television studios, are at Sunshine Cathedral, and we support them in many ways, like we do the chorus. Tell us a little bit about that relationship with Sunshine.
You know, one of the great things about Sunshine Cathedral is that they focus beyond just their walls, just the service. And of course, that's the centerpiece of who they are and what they're about. But they really look beyond that and into the community. And they are constantly engaging other organizations and making sure that they not only have a healthy congregation, but they're living and serving in a vibrant and strong community. And that's how we came about our partnership. When we needed a home, they stepped right up to the plate and welcomed us.
Yeah, that is awesome. I was at a Sunday service. We broadcast to the nation and internationally their Sunday 10:30 a.m. service on Roku and Apple Television. And I was at a service recently, and up in the rafters there was this face, and I thought, oh, wait, I know that face, and it was Gabe Salazar. You sing frequently.
I do. Every Sunday I'm there.
Yeah. So you're actually a singer.
I am.
And have musical talent.
I should hope so.
Yes, as the artistic director. Tell me how that happened in terms of you singing in the community and other kinds of things you do beyond the chorus.
Yeah, well, being in this position, I don't get to sing very much. I kind of gave that up being the conductor. And so the opportunity came they were looking for some staff singers to help support their music ministry. And they asked me if I knew any singers. And at the time I was like, well, I kind of am interested. And I joined, and it's become another home for me. I love the ministry that they do. I love the people involved. I love the people in the congregation, and I love their mission. And it kind of goes hand in hand with what we do in the chorus as well. So it's just a great fit overall.
In full disclosure for me, in the early part of this new decade, 1999, 2000, 1988, I think the first time, I was part of a gay men's chorus in Sarasota. And it was a mixed chorus, and it was small. It wasn't like a gay men's chorus of South Florida. And I went to 2 galas and learned about the whole music movement, to approximately 200 choruses like gay men's chorus of South Florida all over the world, principally in North America. And one of the things that I learned then, and gay men's chorus of South Florida didn't exist yet, but what I've learned today is if there's an Ivy League of gay men's choruses, the gay men's chorus of South Florida is one of them. You say names like Boston, Washington, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle. That's the group you're in. And you're the only one, at least from my humble opinion, that is in that Ivy League here in the South, because you're a chorus, a gay men's chorus in the South, which is very different than the West Coast or the Northeast. 170 singers in this chorus. Tell me a bit about the experience of being a member of the gay men's chorus of South Florida.
Well, I joined initially as a member. So I had a couple of rehearsals, and then we shut down for COVID. So I didn't really get the full experience, but within those few months that we were rehearsing, I just felt a sense of community, a sense of belonging, and a family that I didn't have being new to Florida. So it was just a great way for me to find my footing and find a family in Florida.
And any thoughts from you, Mark, about the experience of being in the chorus?
Sure. Well, and I certainly have to point out that when Gabe became our artistic director, we hated losing him as a singer, because he really does have one of the most exquisite voices I've ever heard.
Beautiful voice.
It's amazing. Being a member in our chorus is about finding a place in this community. Certainly there are lots of things to do that are recreational, bars, clubs, restaurants, but to be someplace where you can work constructively with a group of people to do something to help make a better community and be totally embraced and supported for what you uniquely bring to the mix is an experience that happens for our members that's just not easily available. And very often in our community, it's easy to feel like we're not sure where we belong,
And actually, that's very interesting you say that, because I want to talk about your community impact. But before I move to that, I want to give you an opportunity. Can anyone join the chorus? If I wanted to sing, what would I do?
Yeah, if you're interested and can sing in the tenor bass range, we're always having auditions throughout the year. Obviously, we would love to grow and welcome people into our family. Just check out our website, www.gmcsf.org, and there's a whole page about auditions and how to go about that.
And I know it's called the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida, but I heard you have trans representation.
We do.
I believe you have female.
We do have a
singers.
female, a cis female.
Tell us a little about that. It's a very open, embracing organization, as long as you can sing
Absolutely.
in the ranges of what.
Yeah, we welcome anybody who wants to be involved. We had our first female singer this season, and she's just been the greatest addition. She's so excited to be a part of a family. She's dealt with a lot of persecution with her wife and their daughter, and she's found a home within us, and we just love her and couldn't imagine without her.
I love that, but having long experience with RuPaul's Drag Race, I just want to say RuPaul's did that and done that. There's a straight drag queen performer at RuPaul's UK version, and now the chorus has done the same thing, which is great in terms of inclusivity. I want to come back to the community thing, Mark, that you were talking about. One of the reasons we're so supportive of the mission of the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida is there's entertainment, and it can be entertaining, and that in and of itself is worthwhile. But you cross into new boundaries in terms of representation in our community, both inside our community, LGBT, but even perhaps more important, outside of our community is representation. Tell us a little bit about what you do in community and how that works.
Really germane and fundamental to who we are and what we're about is opening minds and changing hearts for people, about who people in the LGBTQ plus community are. And it's hard to find that strong, positive representation in a broad way. And the arts have got such a magical way of pulling people together. We serve the community not only through our main stage concerts, but through multiple outreach performances in neighborhoods, community centers, public festivals, and events. We've sung national anthem, I think, for every major sporting league that's in the state. And it's about putting a group of LGBTQ plus people in front of the public and saying, here's who we are, here's what we stand for, and we're here, and we're not going anywhere.
You know, it's interesting that you say that. In a different vein, I just did the only and final LGBT interview with Dr. Anthony Fauci. And Fauci said that the reason World AIDS Day was so important today is just simply to be put in front of people. And that's what I just heard you say. The value of the chorus to be at a Miami Heat and do the national anthem just to be announced as the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida and be in front of 35,000 basketball fans in and of itself is valuable to our community, don't you think?
Oh, it really is. And, and the association that those major leagues are making with an LGBT organization helps provide a level of affirmation for a mainstream public that we are, part of this community and to be respected and valued.
I have to, when we're talking about community, take a moment to acknowledge what's going on in Florida and America. We are watching quite an increasing and alarming number of threats and attacks on the LGBTQ community. We're watching the news in North Carolina carefully in terms of the power grid attack potentially of the drag queen event. Multiple events here in Florida in recent weeks have been threatened and attacked. The Proud Boys are on the corner of Las Olas and A1A with Moms of Liberty demonstrating against LGBT. Department of Homeland Security has elevated attention to the potential of domestic terrorism against LGBT and also the growing threats that we should all be aware of, like what we just watched at Club Q in Colorado Springs. As an executive director of an organization that gets out there in the community and performs in concerts, very public events like you do, and as the artistic director, what do you think about as it relates to you and the chorus of what we're watching grow in Florida and in the United States?
It's, individuals who are putting forth these agendas, organizations and individuals that are anti-LGBT are building it on a foundation of not only hate, but fear. They want mainstream America to be afraid of us and to be angry at us and to hate us. And that's what they're striving for. And the way that we cope with that is we're not afraid. We are about giving a voice to the LGBTQ community, and we're not going to let that attempt at oppression silence our voice. If anything, this is a time for us to sing louder, to stand more firmly, and to hold hands with everybody, our allies, and anyone who supports our community, to stand strongly against hate. And we intend to keep singing and doing that.
Yeah. I think we've learned from Stonewall. We're going to talk about your Stonewall event in a moment, but I think we learned from Stonewall, when we unite, we're stronger than the other. I know people, we talked about the big choruses in Boston and Washington. They're watching this interview right now and watching the artistic director and the executive director of the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida. By the way, this is why we live here. It's December. You're getting ready for this Christmas concert, and we're looking over the shoulder of the pictures that we're going and looking at this beautiful pool. It doesn't necessarily equate to what most of the country thinks about Christmas. But before we talk about Christmas, let's talk about 2023. I just want to touch base on your mission all year long. This event at Hard Rock Live is very visible, of course, but I want to talk about some of the other stuff that you do. I was reading that at Parker Playhouse, Broward Center for Performing Arts, on March 24, you're going to do a concert, your annual spring concert, called Songs of the Phoenix. Now, I know what Phoenix is, but I don't quite know what you're telling me. So here's your opportunity. Tell us about Songs of the Phoenix.
Yeah, it's a really cool work that we kind of joined forces with and co-commissioned with other courses such as San Francisco. And it's a really unique work in that there's 9 different composers that kind of put one work together.
So it's an original?
It's an original piece, original work. And all the composers are of different ethnicities and cultures and backgrounds, a very diverse cast of composers. And it kind of tells the story of through the eyes of coming out of COVID, emerging from that horrible time that we all endured, and being more powerful and saying that we are back, and just kind of tells it through the lens of that perspective.
So the Phoenix is literally rising out of pandemic.
Yes.
Wow, that's terrific in terms of that image. And you come to the concert on March 24th at the Parker Playhouse. That will, for all intents and purposes, for our South Florida audience, be the first time it's ever been seen.
Correct.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yes. And you partner with other major, these Ivy League choruses that I was talking about around the country to be able to commission that, to be able to afford something like that, and then you perform it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
I saw the Parker Playhouse concert this last spring. Quite amazing to be in a house like that, about 1,000 seats, I believe, something like that. What was your experience? That was your first time performing it?
That was my first time performing after it's been renovated, and it's just a great space for us. And it's large enough where we can have a good audience, but also feels very intimate, and we can have a special evening of music together.
Exciting. Songs of the Phoenix, the rise of the Phoenix out of COVID. Awesome. And we're going to show you right now how you can get tickets for that event. Then another signature event on the calendar in 23 is the Gala Brunch, and I did the red carpet last year. I believe it was the Westin Hotel out at Fort Lauderdale Beach. And the Gala Brunch is a bit different because it's your signature fundraiser of the year. Tell us, Mark, about what the Gala Brunch does and why people should get involved in it.
A fundraiser like that, I think for a lot of nonprofits, it accomplishes mainly 2 goals. One of those certainly is to raise much needed funds that support our operations and our outreach programs. But the other thing it does is it brings together what I refer to as the chorus family. It brings together the artists, it brings together our major donors, it brings together community people, volunteers. Everybody comes to the brunch, and it's sort of like a large annual celebration of the work that we do and what we're trying to accomplish. So it's something that we look forward to it every year. It's a lot of work.
You do some sampling of music, and there's an auction and a great brunch. It's a lot of fun. I went this year. I can't get away without mentioning, it's interesting as I think about this Phoenix concept of your spring concert. Spring of 2020 had significant problems for the Gay Men's Chorus at the brunch and Winter Party. We were hitting the throes of the beginning of not understanding COVID-19, and even the brunch was affected by it. It's a full circle that we're going to celebrate with the brunch in 2023 and the spring concert of the Phoenix. That's very interesting. And again, we're showing you some information of how you can do that. Then for me of great interest is Stonewall. In the month of June, as everyone knows, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network puts on Stonewall Pride in June. And memory serves me, it's the third Friday and Saturday in June. Oh, I'm probably going to get that right, but it's in June. And that's when Stonewall Pride is. And we partner in promoting with the chorus your amazing Stonewall Pride concerts. And this year, you're going back to the Parker Playhouse, and you're not going to fill the place once, but you're going to fill the place twice. Wow, that's amazing. And you're probably doing some old 1920s or 30s music. Oh, wait, Disney. The Stonewall Pride concert is called Disney Pride. Tell me about that. And like every ear is leaning in right now going, what? Tell me about Disney Pride.
Well, we're really excited to be working with one of the biggest corporations in the world, and we're so lucky that Boston had been working with Disney for quite some time to put together a show that incorporates so many Disney favorites into along with multimedia projection and orchestra, and they've come up with an amazing show that has 42 different songs intertwined within the show.
I'm sorry, say that again.
42
songs
of your Disney favorites, and we are so excited to be the first to present it here in the South, and I'm just so excited about it.
It's first, but before we go on, I kind of turned to the camera. I have a number of friends in Orlando at Disney, and I'm going, you did it in Boston. How much Disney properties are in Massachusetts? I'm trying to remember. The concert on Saturday, June 24th and Sunday, June 25th. You can get tickets now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's available. And I remember this year in the very moving event, the first act was Stonewall celebration of story and music of people that moved our movement and LGBT. And then the second act was more traditional kind of music. Will you be doing that at Disney Pride?
No, unfortunately, it's all Disney.
It's all Disney.
Yes.
Yeah. Every viewer that we have right now just cheered and said, Al, shut up. This is what we want. They know what they're doing. That's great. And so that is in June. Now, those are the big signatures for 2023. We're giving you all of the information, showing you lots of images on it. But now let's come back to Christmas. You're doing 2 concerts at Sunshine Cathedral, your home, on June 16th. And oh, by the way, here's where you go and get your tickets. Nowhere. The concert is sold out. And there are not many tickets left for Hard Rock Live on December 18th, on Sunday, December 18th. So if you're waiting, you're going to be disappointed if you wait.
Yes.
We're coming here to the Hard Rock Live. This will be your first time, I understand, here.
Yes.
Directing. What do you think that experience will be like being on that stage directing?
I mean, there's just so many great artists.
Does it give you goosebumps?
It does give me a little bit of goosebumps. It's a lot of pressure that I feel, but it's so exciting just to be able to be on such a main stage platform, to show who we are and to present to the community. And we're lucky to have it here. Maybe we'll get some people who might not normally come to one of our concerts, and they can witness the great beauty that will be that night.
When you said about the pressure on you, my friend RuPaul just popped into my voice and said, don't F it up. So don't F it up, Gabe. So you're going to come here. Let's talk about Seminole Hard Rock for a moment. This hotel, and it's one of the reasons why we wanted to come and talk to you here. My favorite restaurant is right over your shoulder. In all of South Florida. This company, Seminole Tribe of Florida, has been amazingly supportive of the LGBTQ community. Amazingly. I have been to a number of the diversity honors events here. They walk the walk and talk the talk here.
They really
and
do.
To invite you into their house in a substantially discounted fashion shows such respect to our community here in South Florida. Tell us about how that relationship, Mark, you were here and helping to develop that, how that relationship began and what you think about Seminole Hard Rock.
Sure. We have a chorus member who actually had contacts here and initiated the conversation on our behalf with the special events department here at Hard Rock. And so it was followed by a meeting. We had great conversations and proposals. One of the things that really, really impressed me about Hard Rock is they weren't interested in just throwing support at us and walking away. They wanted to have conversations, and they're invested in doing what they can to raise us to the next level. They want to see us grow. They want to make us stronger as an organization. So they've invested in this, not just as a quick check the box, great, we did something, but really in a true spirit of service and support for the community, and particularly the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, it's awesome. Abiaka is, by the way, the restaurant I'm looking at. Looking at it over your your shoulder and thinking of that fantastic dinner experience. You know, it's interesting to me in terms of the support for the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida. Just in this conversation alone, we've talked about Disney and we've talked about Seminole Hard Rock and how they support LGBT through music of the chorus itself. And the reason I zero in on it is because I really think that there's a great opportunity for many other business enterprises, corporations, whether it be regional here in South Florida or national, to reach out and help in supporting LGBT. It's good business to do, which Seminole Hard Rock proves and Disney proves. And the casino here is not bad either.
Right.
And I heard last time you were here, you did pretty good.
I did.
Yeah.
Let's talk about gift.
Let's talk about specifically on the concert. First off, tell us about what everyone can experience, what they expect at Hard Rock Live.
Yeah, I mean, my goal and desire, you know, when you come into the concert is just to come and feel a sense of hope and a sense of joy through the music that's presented. And, you know, we want everybody to come to our concerts and just have an experience, not just come and listen, but to kind of leave a little bit changed, a little bit more happy, a little bit more proud, and just to enjoy the holidays.
Yeah, I met Tropical Wave this week and 18 Voice ensemble group of the chorus. They're going to do some special things in the concert. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so they're our small chamber ensemble, and we have that group. It's a group of elite musicians within the chorus, and they are a part of our big chorus, but they have additional responsibilities, and we send them out for outreach events and different things in the community, and we're so grateful that we have that group, and they can represent the chorus so well. So they'll be performing as well.
You know, one recommendation that I would make on your Christmas concert next year, it would make your Christmas concert even better, is if you could possibly reach out and find a Tony and a Grammy award. Oh, wait, you already did that. Shoshana Bean is coming, and she's going to perform. Her voice is amazing. Amazing. Really is. What do you think about Shoshana coming?
Oh, I mean, she's absolutely remarkable. It's she's got pipes like nobody could imagine. She's talented, she's well known, and she's a huge advocate for the LGBTQ plus community. So bringing her talent and her personal commitment to our community to the stage here at Hard Rock is a no-brainer, really.
You know, it's exciting to see such a high degree of professionalism. The venue, the commitment to the music, the commitment to a Grammy, Tony, winning professional. It's a real opportunity. And when you combine that in the same sentence with LGBTQ, all of us, regardless of whether we're in the chorus or not, can be proud of this moment of what we're getting to see our community to do. One of the things I wanted to mention to you and get a reaction from is we have been doing some research, our crack newsroom, doing some research. We think upon completion of your sellout here, which I know you're going to sell out, your sellout at Hard Rock Live is going to be the single largest locally produced LGBTQ musical event ever in Florida. Wow. More people will be watching that event live, locally produced, not a national tour,
right.
For LGBT than anything ever done in Florida, and then that'll become history. What do you think?
The pressure just came back to me.
RuPaul just came back in my head again. Yeah. Don't F it up. But what do you think about that, of the history that the Gay Men's Chorus South Florida moves into the history books of being able to sell that number of tickets in a venue like this to so many people that's never happened in Florida before? I
mean, to me, it just shows how much our presence and is needed in our community, and it's just such an amazing, I mean, I had no idea until you just said that. So it's such an honor to be a part of such an organization that will do that. So,
and Mark, what do you think about
that? From my perspective, I'm like, that's great, but we're just getting started.
Yeah.
This is Gabe's still early stages with this course, and I have to tell you, artistically, he has elevated who we are and what we do in the most spectacular way, and again, he's just getting started. So I'm excited about that. But you know what? The South Florida community deserves it. You know, this is one of the largest, the second largest concentration of LGBTQ plus people of anywhere in the country. And we need to have stellar events where large numbers of people in our community come together and affirm who we are.
Mark, I asked you, Gabe, Being the whippersnapper that he is, doesn't have enough experience yet. I don't think, to my question, but you do. You've been here a while in the community. You've been with the chorus for a long time as executive director. You sat and watched two of the most difficult years our community has ever seen. Period. Drop mic. That's it. 2 years. Most difficult ever. Everything literally came to a stop. For an organization like you, which is a 501c3, it's a nonprofit, you're not a for-profit organization, you're not a business, to go through those 2 years and be in a situation where you're in performance, which means you've got to gather to enjoy the experience. What were those 2 years for you as executive director like?
Frightening, to be honest with you. It turns out the worst thing you can do in a COVID-19 time is sing. You know, the aerosols that are released through the singing process are really about as dangerous as it gets. And one of the things that always strikes me about nonprofits is they are driven by people with heart and passion. And that's not only the people who work there and the people who benefit, but the people who support it. And during that time, we brought all of our expertise and our intellect and our skills to the table. But we survived. We made it through because of the heart and the passion and the support of our community. This is not our success story as much as it's the success story of the South Florida community.
It's everyone's success story.
It is.
We could celebrate the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida, and it's a victory for all of us.
For everybody.
A victory for all of us. That being said, you went through these tough times. You're roaring back now. I hear what you're saying about the future in 2023. You have a guy assuming that on December 18th, he doesn't pull the RuPaul move, and everything's going to go fantastic. What can we do, our community in South Florida, what can we do to help support the community and the chorus?
I think the most important thing is to be involved. You know, we have a mission, you know, to make the world a better place for all people, but this shouldn't be a passive experience for the South Florida community. Volunteer with us, audition, support us financially. You know, our ticket sales and our earned income only pay for half of what we do. The rest of it, we rely on grants and generous individuals to make happen. And we will be as big and as wonderful and as powerful as this community allows us to be.
It's exciting times to watch you and see what's going to happen next. What, however, is absolutely next is December 18th here at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel in the Hard Rock Live. Come out early, have dinner here. Perhaps you want to make a weekend of it and stay at the hotel. I've stayed at the Guitar many times. It's a treat.
It's an amazing property.
Is a treat. And then to be able to go to Hard Rock Live, it is just a complete bullseye and absolutely a great reflection and respect for the LGBTQ community. Sunday, December 18th. There are not many tickets left, so you better hurry. We've spent the time talking about the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida because this is one of the sentinel organizations that represents us all. Mark Ken, Executive Director, Gabe Salazar, Artistic Director, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm really sorry to have pulled you out into this, and it's so difficult.
I know. What a rough life we have.
This horrible suffering we're going through.
Thank you. Al Ferguson at Queer News Tonight.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.